Okay, thank you for being with us today. Please briefly introduce yourself.
I'm Nazira Abughothi, a postdoctoral research fellow at Linköping University in Sweden.
Okay. Then please share your experience with the YITP program for the past days.
So for the past few days, I was working with Dr. Nakwon Choi's team at the KIST institution in Seoul. I thought the experience was excellent. It involved some training in vitro techniques developed by bioengineers. It was phenomenal. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay. Then what would you say to future prospective applicants for YITP?
Highly encourage them to apply. I think it's extremely useful for them, especially young early careers who are thinking of pursuing an academic career in neuroscience research.
Okay, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being with us. Could you briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Jennifer and I'm a graduate student from Amsterdam. And I'm just finishing up my program there, and now I'm here on the YITP award program.
Okay, Jennifer, how was your YITP experience? Could you tell us briefly about it?
Yeah, it was a really incredible experience, especially because you learn so much on a scientific level, but then there's also the whole aspect of the new country and new culture to experience. So I met all these students who are sort of my age and who are doing research here, and it's so great to see the similarities and the differences and make new friends, and also explore all the other things here. So it's been a really great experience.
Thank you. And what would you say to future prospective YITP applicants? Any recommendation or things to prepare?
Well, going to a new country can of course always be a little bit scary, but I would say to just overcome that fear and do it anyway, because it's definitely worth it. And it's totally normal to feel a bit overwhelmed or a bit nervous about it, but it's such a good experience and I would just say go for it.
Well, thank you for the interview and enjoy your rest of your stay in Korea. Okay, thank you for being with us today. Could you briefly introduce yourself today?
Okay, hi, I'm Ana. I'm from Buenos Aires and I'm at the middle of my PhD at Buenos Aires University, and currently I'm working on retrospinal cortex and memory.
And you've been in Korea for about a week to participate in a young investigator training program of IBRO. Could you tell us briefly about your experience?
Well, it was an amazing experience for me. I mean, I could be able to observe a lot of novel techniques and novel behavioral tasks that I hopefully use in a brief time. And I really learned a lot from this experience, not only as a scientist, but also as a human being. So the cultural exchange was really great.
And what would you say to future prospective YITP students? Any recommendation or things to prepare?
Oh, they should try it, really. It's a little bit scary because you don't know what to expect. And also being here in Korea, it's really all new for me. But they should try it, really. It's a great experience and it's really mind-changing.
Well, thank you for your time today, and I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your stay in Korea. All right, thank you, Anna.
Hi, Dr. Kao.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for the time for the interview. Could you introduce your company briefly?
Sure. So my name is Vania. I am the Asia Pacific Sales Manager in Scopex. So we are a miniaturized microscope that is used for awake behaving neural circuit studies. So we're really excited to be here at IBRO. It's our first time and we're really honored to be part of this amazing conference.
Yes. Could you tell us about the significance of IBRO that you attend now?
Yeah, so IBRO is a Pan-Asia Pacific conference. So that means it's reaching a lot of top neuroscience labs and researchers all around Asia. So it was really important for us as a company that serves neuroscientists around the world to be here at IBRO and make sure that we get to talk to all of the different neuroscientists that are here at the conference today. So it's been really great. I've already met people from Nepal, people from Japan, Korea, China, so lots of different places, Australia, and that's why we're here. We're here to really talk about neural circuit discoveries with all of these people around Asia.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for being with us. Please briefly introduce yourself, name, affiliation, position, and so on.
Hi, I am a graduate student of Greg Suss Lab in Department of Biological Science in KAIST. My name is Jin Kim. I'm here to have a poster presentation and have a great networking with the people in Ivo.
Yeah. Then why did you decide to participate into this conference and present your poster? Is there any specific reason?
First of all, this conference is good in that it's an international meeting, I meet many people from over the world. And recently I have my paper published, and then I presented about my work and my current work, and it's very good to have comments about that, and I'm very excited to discuss my results and then research with other people, and it's a good opportunity to meet many pioneering and in good fields. And then one thing, the speakers in this conference is a very good.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you again for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
So now I'll talk to the people from Allen Institute for Brain Science. Hi, could you introduce your booth and what you're presenting here?
Yeah. So the Allen Institute for Brain Science is a nonprofit. We're located in Seattle, Washington in the United States. Our mission is to create open data sets that anyone can use in their research to help accelerate their discoveries and help accelerate what they're doing in their labs. So we have lots of different resources, and we're focusing here on resources related to cell types and gene expression in the human and mouse brain.
Okay, sounds great. So could you give us your thoughts about the IBRO meeting? What is the significance of the IBRO meeting you think, and what you are enjoying here?
The IBRO, the people who are attending IBRO come from all over the world, and it's really great to have an opportunity to meet people and help accelerate research globally.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So your talk was very interesting today. Could you briefly explain about your symposium? What is the topic of this session?
Sure. So all the talks today were about memory and how our cells in the brain storing memory, right? So we know now there are certain cells in certain parts of the brain that are engaged in storing memory, and these cells are again active when we retrieve those memories, at least some of them. But memories are not isolated entities, right? So our memories are related, right? So if you close your eyes and think of something important, let's say your graduation, your wedding, your first date, you think of something, and then a few seconds later you think of something else. So memories are organized in sets in the brain, and that's highly adaptive because we think of related memories, and with that we can predict the future, what's coming, for example. But we have known what are the mechanisms that organize these memories. So what our lab has done is to find that memories that are related, let's say when I think of my wedding, I think of my pants that were a little too short. And I always laugh when I think of that. So how is it that I remember those two events, my wedding, which I hold very dear to my heart, and then my pants that were too short? I think that both memories overlap in the brain, that some of the same neurons are encoding my wedding and my pants too short. So when I think of one, I think of the other. Unrelated memories don't have the same overlap. So when I think of my wedding, I don't think of my grandson that was just born. That's a separate memory in the brain. So we understand now, at least we think we understand now, the mechanisms. So there are molecules that drive the overlap between memory ensembles and other molecules that keep those ensembles separated so we don't mix up memories.
Wow, that's very interesting findings actually.
Yeah, we're very lucky. We stumbled on this and we have had a really good time studying this.
Sounds great. So I have more general questions.
Sure.
So this IBRO meeting is just the first, big symposium conference organized in Korea.
Yeah.
So could you share some of your thoughts about the IBRO meeting?
Yes, it's a wonderful meeting because it involves multiple countries. As I walk around the halls of this beautiful center in Daegu, I see people from everywhere in the world. I see speakers from everywhere in the world, and I see attendants from everywhere in the world. I think the world is becoming more and more of a separate place. And I think it's wonderful that in science, we are all of the same nation, the nation of science. And I think for an international meeting to go around the world, I think it's wonderful. The world needs more of that.
I see. Yeah. Thank you very much for your nice interview.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's
you.
been a pleasure. Thank you.
So now we'll meet one of the symposium organizers, Dr. Jenny Han from KAIST. Dr. Han, it was a very nice symposium. Could you briefly introduce your symposium to the audience of IBRO?
Okay, so this symposium is about how memory is encoded and stored in the brain. So in this session, we focused on very specific the cells, which is known as engram cells. So engram cell is the cell that store the memory in the brain. And in this talk, so we provided a recent advance of our understanding of how engram cells contribute to the memory storage, and then how engram cells are changed in many situations. For example, like engram cells during the sleep and engram cells after the repetition of experience and memory linking things. So we believe that the topic that we discussed and provided in this session is help understand the learning and memory mechanism in the humans.
That sounds very interesting. Could you share us some of your thoughts about this IBRO 2019, which is one of the biggest international conference held in Korea?
I think it's really important, the important things in science, especially for early career of the science. It's very essential to present what we found and to interact with other scientists. I think that's kind of essential part of the science.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us today. Could you please introduce a little bit about the symposium that you are organizing?
Okay. This is Jahyun Baek from Korean University, Seoul, South Korea. I'm organizing a symposium for today's afternoon, mouse model for neuropsychiatric disorders from integrative analysis from gene to circuit. So which include 4 speakers, and I'm very proud to introduce just later. First speaker will be Dr. Cynthia Smith from Jackson Laboratory. You know the Jackson Laboratory, which have a really big mouse models, but also they are learning the mouse genome informatics. So she's the group leader for this mouse genome informatics, which provides us different comparison in mouse gene, but also in match with the human disease. So she will probably provide those their updated the database and their tool or search tool, which can facilitate for researcher the comparison, also the bioinformatic analysis. About the integral analysis about mouse model, but also the other animal model. Finally, the apply to the human disease model. So it is very important for translational research for the neuropsychiatric disorder. And secondly, we have the speaker from Japan, from Nagoya University, Dr. Akihiro Yamanaka, who will introduce a very interesting finding is that normally he was working about the sleep disorder in hypothalamus. And he found recently this hypothalamus neuron, the MCH neuron, melanin concentrating hormone neuron, which are normally involved in anxiety or reward involved feeding behavior. But it seems that these neurons are affecting hypothalamus. No, not hypothalamus, sorry, hippocampus, and control the forgetting of a memory. So maybe it's very important to see the sleep association with the memory forgetting. So we are really anticipating this talk of today. And thirdly, we have the speaker from postdoc in Korea, the Professor Jung-hoon Kim, who is very well known for his research about the anxiety and fear, also addiction. And he recently established the group of mouse model, one group using cocaine self-administration the technique, one group which are really susceptible to cocaine craving, but the other which are not. So he would like to look at what is the mechanism underlying this resilience or susceptibility to cocaine craving using, I think, optogenetics and also transcriptomics and the other behavioral analysis, really integrating different cutting-edge techniques. So that's also we really would like to expect. And last speaker is me, actually. So I'm working a long time for dopamine system, and today I will talk about the dopamine-mediated impulsive and compulsive behavior, which are associated with some cocaine addiction, but also food addiction. So that's it.
Okay, yeah. That sounds quite exciting.
I hope so. I hope that the audience will also enjoy much about our preparation.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Then what is your personal impression to join this huge conference that the Korean neuroscience community has been able to hold in Korea?
Yeah. That's really, I mean, as a Korean neuroscientist, I think we must celebrate together all of this event, which made possible by really hard work done by IBRO and FAUNS, but on-site Korean neuroscientists. But I think also we all have experiences like neuroscientists, the Society for Neuroscience in the United States. So I have a feeling that really we have, the number of participants are not like 35,000 as much as the United States meeting, but really I think we had in this meeting, I think it's the 10th IBRO FAUNS the joint meeting, and we have more than 4,000 people. So I think it's this really successful, and not only all other country from across the all other country, but also importantly, I think we have a very beautiful community naturally forming between also the ASEAN, the neuroscience network. I think that is also important, and then we can also. Of course, collaborate other United States, European people, also ASEAN including. So, yeah, I mean, just very happy and excited, and what can we say? And also, I think we are proud of this capability to hold this the important meeting here, and then we can demonstrate this to our junior neuroscientists. We did that, and then you can do better, and I think that's also an important message.
Okay, thank you again for accepting this interview.
Okay, thank you.